starting to pick up the Neons. Played it 14 games now throughout this stage. First time I've ever seen the man on a KO.
Yep. I mean, here's the thing. You know, yeah, this is obviously very different for FaZe, but last time we even saw them play this map, Jet was still in the meta.
Facts. It is facts. They have not played this map since, you know, early May. And that was a loss to Optic.
Yeah, week 1.
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely interesting to see him on this agent.
And I love Valen's call about this Sage as well, forcing FaZe to have to play very differently on top of the comp they're already playing differently.
Look at that.
And not only that,
wrecked.
I know it doesn't even come through in any form. And all of a sudden, FaZe have had to spend so much just to get here. And the thing, too, just really quickly, is this is a different comp for NRG off of what they had just played in the lower bracket. So it's already a different look where FaZe's planning may go out the window because of this Sage pickup.
Yeah, they did play Sage against Evil Geniuses, but that was the only time they've ever
played it.
played
was the TSM match I was looking at.
Apologies. Yeah, they were playing raids back then, and obviously Sage was not a part of their comp too often throughout the year. But they played it one other time in a Nerd Street winner. So, yeah, definitely a little bit different. No doubt about it. We're seeing Dicey try to take point here towards defensive spawn with this Headhunter, and
what a shot.
It lives up to its name, that's for sure. Right between you guys there, as they're going to start using that to pressure market into sight. Ethan reads it, but has to fall back and try to buy time for support, but it's still a ways out.
I mean, that's not bad, though. You still get Tex to pick up one. If Ethan can pick one, that'd be perfect. The spike was so late getting on that it hasn't even been planted yet. And NRG can actually use the clock as their biggest ally at the moment, trying to isolate Fly outside. Not going to quite work out. Finally jumping on in is Sam for the right click. And we go to a 2v2. Hazed on his way is going to clear out B main. And all the information will be known that the play from FaZe is going to be on site. And Supa is able to get the opener. So it's down to Hazed. 1v2. Both players are low. Superman in particular is in one-shot territory. But he's gotten around behind
they both
the play.
got off site. That's huge. He doesn't know if back's open or not. He has no idea if anyone's back.
No clue. Our cover comes down, and that's not going to work out. Wow.
That was so smart from FaZe to play together on stairs, then come up, because they know what Hazed has to deal with. They know that he still has to clear the back. I mean, played the perfection there in the post plan from FaZe for sure. Fly as one kill was enough to buy time, to alleviate some pressure for the plant as well. And so FaZe kind of make the most out of what was initially a pretty tough situation when that tree hit towards A, kind of got slowed down by the barrier. Prowler didn't really make any progress and looked like they're in some trouble, but they get it done. As I'm curious at what tempo FaZe plays with when they don't have their normal entry on a duelist that can play fast-paced.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely the case.
Who am I kidding?
Prowler's going to come out. EU was tagged by the Hunt. Maybe they already forward. You want to ask about what tempo they're going to play at? How about fast?
Shocker.
Seems to work out okay.
I, for
Did
one,
you expect
am
that?
surprised.
Do you have that on your bingo card?
Yeah, I mean, we know that KO can kind of be that duelist support hybrid kind of character.
Oh, God.
Sam was just...
Oh, God.
He was doing a triple Lutz while eating bullets. I don't know. I'm not a big figure skating expert. Not really on the resume. No.
I mean, it came off the cuff so quick. I thought
did.
you were like Tanya Harding's biggest fan. Or Michelle Kwan, if you're into that.
Dude, that's like literally the only figure skater I actually know is Michelle Kwan.
That's the only two that I know.
That's dating all the way back, too. And then Tanya Harding, I only know her because of the movie.
Yep.
Either way, bonus.
There's
now
so
for
much
FaZe.
of the audience right now that's so confused.
Literally no idea what we're talking about at all. Not a hint. I guess that movie with Tanya Harding was kind of the biopic kind of thing. Anyway, bonus here for FaZe. Slow down, though. The Prowler comes out.
Oh, Tex holds his ground, though. Just for long enough. Forces out a second flash. We'll get Fly a one-off a Hunter's Fury, though, with still plenty of utility to try to clear extra space beyond B. Defensive Prowler to clear mid. Nothing's going to be really seen through that, as I think that doesn't even get through the smoke.
Yeah, FaZe getting a little bit of mid-presence here now as well with Dicey coming up towards Catwalk. Two players going to be here. He's able to get one and get away before any trade potential is going to be available there for Ethan. And they have, you know, pretty good coverage all across the map. Trademark still watching A flank. Dicey now there. Owl Drone pressuring the B site while the spike swings out. I mean, this is really good for FaZe. There's some layers to this.
Really good.
This is like Smeeg goes to grad school. There's There's a thesis going on. There's a dissertation being formed. There's all kinds of stuff.
I'm picturing the cover art for that film.
What, Schmeeg with like a... I don't even know what he would be doing. I guess be in massive debt and still not have a job. I mean, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's fair. It's accurate. Post plant, though, coming through as FaZe will layer this largely from the safe side of the archway. Good look at the picture-in-picture as far as what's waiting for NRG if they do get on towards site. Flya also trying to cut off the rotation through tree. Gives away his position, though. Trigger discipline not going to be executed on. But it's just, how do you clear out these spaces right now? Especially now that you're revealed. You just don't. No time.
Man. FaZe getting something going here on this attacking side. Again, I was a bit curious about ASCENT because, again, I've only seen them play it once in the last couple of months. Obviously, historically, not a bad map for them throughout the course of the year when they've had to play it in various qualifiers and smaller events, but still not the map you really know them for against elite competition. I mean,
yeah,
had kind of a trade of matches against TSM, beat Sentinels, but lost to Optic. You know, other than that, it's been a lot of smaller name teams, honestly. NRG, though, yeah, you know, in their own rights, only played it a couple of times with this lineup against TSM and EG, but won both those games throughout the stage between groups and playoffs. And so it's kind of making you wonder how things would play out, but so far so good here for FaZe, but now it's their first real test against the full buy, or mostly a full buy. A couple SMGs to play.
Stacking up. And beyond E to try to hold this. Paranoia from the back, though, will slow things down. Fragment to continue, and then the flash through, but Ethan can only chip away at a little bit of damage.
He saw
has to back off as the null command for Baby Bay is going to lead towards an entry. Boys gets the opener. Baby Bay to follow, and Sam is just praying.
What?
Little spray and pray action through the door. Not going to work out. Door's going to shut on the play completely, and FaZe will have full entry with the plant, and you're also got Dicey watching the flank.
Yeah, this is pretty much sealed. Dicey can afford to just watch this 100% without ever looking away due to everyone else still being alive, and so Tech has no chance to catch the timing. And now Tree even getting pressured by this recon from Flya, gets the read. They'll swing out on Sam together. No chance for him to come away with anything there. And it's going to be a prime gaming flawless for FaZe. Honestly, when Ethan reads all they're there and NRG's making the heavy rotations, I'm thinking there's a chance they can either make a stand or set up for a retake. But how quick those entries came out for EU and Co.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was such a brilliant combination of Fragment and Poison Spam. The generator's like the one spot, you know, you really have to worry about besides Under Heaven when you're coming in. They had it covered with utility. This is awesome.
I think the thing that it really is, and the thing that's most, I think, just kind of impressive about it is it's not just the fact that it's obviously a very different type of composition than we're used to seeing from them, but they're still dissecting the site as good as you would anticipate. It's just without the same speed. You know, you don't have the fast lane to break it up. You're not using jet cloud dashes to get in. It's just you use the same utility ideas for Baby Bay. He just doesn't follow up off of his own utility. So I love the disciplined nature of Baby Bay kind of in this identity.
Yeah, it's a little more reserved, but still up-tempo at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh.
Gotta have that.
Wah, wah. You hate to see it.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
That's really your only chance in a round like this to make something happen is to connect on that. Poise sends out the Prowler towards the door, spots one there, smoke up. Good utility here. Oh my god.
Oh god, dude. Just the C's as well, keeping him in place. It's just all perfect.
It really
and that's the thing, man. It's just, you know, as much as I think a lot of people are going to look at FaZe and say it's just you run at them, you catch them off guard, there's more of a science than their tempo than just run at people.
This is great utility usage.
This is unbelievable.
The triple initiation in full-fledged mode. I mean, just a little sprinkle of Smeeg. Everything's going well.
Is that one of the flavors, that 31 flavors Baskin Robbins? Sprinkle of Smeeg.
So far defensively, but he hasn't really had a sniper to wield just yet. Maybe that could be the catalyst for turning the tides on this half. I mean, look at this. Look, I love that sky view. It shows how they layer the utility to get this quick mid control.
Oh man, this is
look at
absolutely
this. Fragment as
dividing
well.
This is exactly how you want to divide it. And now you've got Flya trying to clear off the backside of the site just to get the tag. I don't believe he got the tag. Now it's full HP still for NRG. They're actually sustaining through this at the moment. The Cosmic Divide's going to fall here pretty shortly. You've got to get on site, and they're not 100% confident if there's anyone here or not, but Sam will fall. And the sheer numbers for FaZe will get them a plant, and likely they're going to have to bunker down here. They're not going to have an exit.
This retake is going to be tense here for NRG. Down a man. Having to use a sniper on one of their players and clear borders. Oh, there it goes. There it
Yep,
goes.
and Dicey's watching the corner, plus a little extra. FaZe stuck inside a market. You had a haunt, you have a paranoia, but you needed a little bit more than just those two.
Bro.
And it looks like NRG are just going to give this up?
Yep.
Play for exits?
What do they have? They have not found an opening. And the clock is ticked away. Oh, I mean, right here at the end, they're starting to get some frags. But they just don't have any space still. And Poise will finish it off there. And you might as well throw FaZe on that Outback Steakhouse menu, bro. Because there are bloomin' onion. Layers upon layers of utility on these attacks. It's outrageous. Where's this come from?
How long were you sitting on that bloomin' onion?
I just came up with it about 5 seconds ago. I knew I wanted to do something with layers, and then onion came, and then bloomin' onion, and then Outback.
From Shrek, you know. Yeah, that's fair. Cakes have layers. Everyone loves cake.
Not all cakes have layers. All onions have layers.
Their fears betrayed them.
Don't fact check me on that, but I'm pretty confident. Pretty good. I mean, there's some cakes that don't have that many layers, really.
I was just trying to continue with the Shrek reference.
That's fine.
Okay. Paranoia after FaZe gets the first. That will contest some space in the backside. Or cover, fragment, NRG are going to push through this. And in a 5v4 situation, it's a little risky, but you hold this spot.
This is great.
You guarantee a lockdown. And now Poise is going to open up some threat over through mid.
Yeah.
If Poise could get through this, all of a sudden, Hayes is stuck.
Doesn't even have to go hard. He just needs to be here to maybe catch a rotation. But Hayes strikes before it can. Prowler lands, but Poise cancels it out pretty quick. Same with the haunt, but Hayes is just teeing off. I mean, it doesn't matter what Poise is doing right now.
Backs into a corner. Wait a second.
Oh, he's been spotted.
That information was just seen. Yeah, sure has.
Oh, he's so scared of getting
Euse
pinched.
is going to keep dancing. Spike is making its way over through B main, but Poise is going to have to do something miraculous. It's not going to happen.
Cow. That was beautifully done. Beautifully baited.
Supa. Oh, boy.
Surely not.
This would be a 1v4. This would be a 1v4! What? And the ace? No. No. That's not the way that goes.
Nah. How has he done that? What a brilliant individual effort, but how has NRG not put the lid on that round? Hayes had a triple over at A side. They had nothing. Absolutely squat. And then Superman just does it all by himself with this spray transfer. Oh, NRG, man. How many hits can you take? You're already down 0-6, and then you lose that to an ace clutch? Oh, my God. I just don't know how you ever financially recover from that, mentally.
Yeah. Spiritually, emotionally.
It didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. But just everything, yes.
Right.
How do you recover from that?
I don't. You've got weapons in this round, but we said at 0-5 you had to win that 6th round.
I was just about to praise them, too, because Hayes did work.
Absolutely.
EU played so patient on the push from Poised with the double swing after he waited for a teammate to meet him up. I mean, they did everything right until Superman just took a massive dump all over. I mean, I don't know what else you want to say. Like, he crushed that, dude.
There's nothing else to say. Well, NRG's got B main control. Threat over the middle. As you've got Baby Bath, at least initially through, looking to come back over towards Tree to join this, but Hayes is playing a very forward off angle, looking for more than just the first, but does get traded out. Null command coming through for Ethan on the defense as he backs now in towards side. Has to hold this ground. Needs to get at least one, and it's not going to happen. Nightfall's here just a little bit too late. So is EU.
That ult came to like, I mean, just out of time on getting that all command out to have impacts. So it allows that Nightfall to come through.
Man, NRG are stuck.
Look at that C
in
shot.
More ways than one.
Gonna get the res.
The thing is, you still have to have this round. You can't just give this one up. And they're not even gonna get out. Gravity Well's going to suck him into place. Poise now looking to tee off the low ground. Very wisely, FaZe just back up, say, you still have to come to us. Recon Bolt will be there. Easy read onto text, no problem. And, oh, man.
Then the fragment comes. Dude, this utility is so
so
good, dude. It's just so good. Like, they threw so much at Heaven. There was no chance, even with the res energy, couldn't get space there. A little bit of an overextension taking the fight on the gravel. They lost a guy due to that,
Sure.
but who cares? They're up 8-0.
Still,
There's
yeah.
still really no
Yeah.
threat at losing the round. Bruh, this is wild. 17 combined kills right now for NRG across 8 rounds. Superman's only 4 behind that by himself. In fact, you give him any teammate and add it up, they got him beat. And the other 3 are just bonus. I mean, they're just
still, like,
crushing.
The thing is, like, not only is this utility play not something we typically attribute to FaZe, which is in itself surprising and shocking, but it's just when you think of FaZe on this map in the old comps using Jet, it's just Baby Bay has to tee off.
Yeah, flash and dash, baby.
And this is for more reasons than one, all of a sudden turning FaZe into a possible major contender against XSET.
Yeah, they've been.
If they win. Again, we've seen some
I
incredible
mean, think
comebacks
about
so far. I'm not
everything
trying to
that's
frame
happened
this
for
out.
FaZe throughout this stage. Dicey's become a star again after months of kind of being out of competition. Now, Baby Bay still Baby Bay. You know, they're able to settle into some new comps. Your supporting cast shows up in playoffs with Superman and Poise having
Yeah,
some big
yeah.
games. You know, they bring Flya back off the bench to get him in that initiator role. They've done wonders with that. I feel like it's really fueled some of their attacks, having that extra initiation power. Also good for a big map here or there in his own right. They're starting to get their pistol rounds together. Their retakes are still strong as hell. I mean, they really are starting to finally turn away from like this dark horse upset team with a lot of firepower to a team that can actually contend
Yep.
regularly.
And now you've got this moment in this round in particular, by the way. FaZe is killing noise, creating doubt, throwing a bit of a fake out.
30 seconds left.
And now re-wrapping back over to Tree. Poise is going to sit here to make sure Som stays trapped, but this fight towards Tree is everything. Ethan tries a delay. Flash comes through, wants the peek to the nebula, but Superman denies. Hayes looking to tap away at some toes. Gets one, but now Dicey comes through the middle of the map, gets the double.
Time
becoming a problem. Hayes for the 1v3 just needs to use the clock as his biggest ally. Poise will fall, and nothing more. Dicey quick to follow up, and FaZe get the 9.
I like how quick FaZe went to recognize they had to still push it. There was no chance of getting back to B. And so while the clock got tense, Dicey does enough in back calls to open up the Heaven push. And they know that they can just swing on Hayes with numbers, and there's no real way for Hayes to escape. And if he does escape, that means sight is yours, and you can still fit the plan in before time expires. That is really good, rapid decision-making with the clock against you and still finding a way to work through that stress and win the round. Really well done there from FaZe. Even when things got a little out of hand, still able to come out on top.
Early play for FaZe out of
Dude,
B
look
main.
at that.
Will
Haunt
push.
on one
Yep.
side, Owl Drone on the other. No chance of energy to get early space, bro.
Nope. That's what I was about to say. That's a different timing, a different look that we've seen so far from FaZe as far as how they want to use that early utility to contest space.
I would love to know how much this was game planned and how much is this is like kind of just feeling it on the fly, because this looks so good.
The retake coming out for NRG, that works out nicely. Slow orb allowing a chance for Tex to move in, isolate Poise. Good first blood, considering that this is going to feel like a must-win Thrifty in certain regards, especially now that you're up 5-4.
Yeah, barrier orb comes up and will fortify. FaZe unable to really break it. Now they'll start doing so. Maybe they're looking to swing off the back of that, but Som able to tuck in behind. Jackhouse has been spotted. That knife will read Som on sights. Did they know about logs?
Oh, and Dicey's lurk.
They don't know about
oh,
logs.
and Dicey's lurk. Not yet, at least. There's the flash.
You want to play? Let's
Still focused
play.
on the long rate. The thing about this is because of that pick from Dicey, it just opens up a free
No
rotation.
way.
And the tour is there
30
to
seconds
stop
left.
any rotation on the opposite side. Ethan once again by himself. This time the flash much more successful. The stinger
Down A.
able to step up for a double. The spike now down. Time becoming a bit of an issue on the opposite side. All of a sudden, the tables have slightly turned, but Ethan needs to get a different weapon, if I'm being completely honest. The problem is he doesn't feel confident to
10
move forward,
seconds left.
just wants to play gatekeeper of Tree Door. It's going to have to be Dicey. Here's the 1v1. He's able to take it, no problem. Avoids Baby Bay.
Whoa.
A couple of shots come in. Time. It's all down to the clock. And that's going to be enough for Ethan to
I was a
extend
little-
just long enough.
I was a little scared when he took that first fight against Baby Bay instead of tucking into Generator the win off the timer, but it looks like right after he sprayed, he got the read he could just stay alive and win, and he was able to get it done. I have to give mad props to Ethan. Look at how he used his flashes at Tree to get these frags. Great kill there, great follow-up. Then look at the immediate response. He knows Heaven's a threat, he fragments it, dice it, gets the read on Dicey's position, and then battles his way into a 1v1. He played that as smart as he possibly could, except for maybe that final peak, but it wound up not mattering, and he wins it. That's a big, big round for Ethan.
Throw, not even a shoulder. Throw an elbow. Nightfall comes out early. Very good from FAZE, though the paranoia is going to connect on just about everything. Oh, and then you've got the knife behind this. No utility from FAZE can come in, so yeah, you get first blood, but you're stuck. You're absolutely stuck at this point of ingress. Ethan, all of a sudden, off the recovery, is going to fragment to recreate space, and FAZE will just get the first blood and sustain through the initial engagement with that 5v4.
Cosmic Divide, though, is that added layer to still re-hit this A site, even with the other utility now burnt. Som, though, catching Baby Bay. So that's going to slow this thing down, but he's able to get res there by Poise. Again, Cosmic Divide still blocking Heaven, so still not really a way for NRG to stop that res on the KO from happening. They recon under Heaven and now know that it's clear so that Superman can take it through this Cosmic Divide. And this plant will go down. They have main advantage on the post plant.
The Cosmic Divide falls. Ethan, he earns null command off of this. Oh, but he can't stay alive long enough to proc it. So FAZE fighting back after the 2 comes out of Ethan. 1v1 over towards Tree. Goes the way of NRG in the retake. Poised able to follow up off the immediate trade. EU for a 1v2 of his own. It's Poised on the corner. Who's going to peek first? Poised is playing off the time, though. And EU's going to force him to have to make a peek. Does he get to halfway? Sure does. Doesn't hold it longer than that, but the 1v1 comes through nonetheless, and Poise takes it through 11. It's FAZE, indomitably up 10-1.
Dude, Poised has just come online, dude, throughout these playoffs. The newest addition to the team, coming in as the IGL, struggling individually at first, but this man's been fragging with the best of the team throughout these last few best of 3s they've played in the lower bracket. Obviously, Superman's really starting to light up, man. This is big. This is so big for FaZe to get form out of this supporting cast around the stars that they already have in Dicey and Baby Bay.
Yep.
If they can keep that up, and now we're starting to see them kind of push strategy a little bit deeper, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with for some time.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury making things interesting here for NRG's defense, but they get first blood and get out. Mostly thanks to the fact that Tex hits the opening shot and creates a slow field that's going to feel like you're stuck in molasses on a hot day. Not that I have much experience with that, but
I do have experience with the heat. It's like 110 heat index over here, Fahrenheit. So, but the molasses part, not so much.
yeah. And Hazed? He's in a very vulnerable position, and FaZe is moving quietly, but they do not expect him to be here, and why would you? Paranoia comes out trying to get him out. No, not going to quite be able to get the Shrouded Step through. But doesn't matter. Other side of the map, Tex makes safe the B site. Nightfall comes through as a just-in-case policy. And FaZe are stuck in a 2v4 trying to work over towards A. It's coming right to E's direction.
I need a blocking vision.
Yeah, All Drone's going to come in here. Suppressed, though, is Superman.
What a read.
Yeah, they have this thing well covered. They know that this has to pretty much be a commitment. They can't really fall back.
Last player standing.
As he will find Fly, so now it's all on Superman. He might be able to backstab Heaven, and oh, he gets both!
Oh, no way. There's not again. Not another 1v4 for Supa. Time is a huge problem, but he does have Spike. He could get there, but doesn't quite check the left in EU. The sole defender initially.
This half now, we're 3 maps deep, or 2.5 at least. Winner moves on to play Exet tomorrow for a chance to go to Copenhagen. Loser will have to wait for LCQ at best. Or perhaps even longer, depending on how that all shakes down in the end. And so, it's all on this really double wine play from FaZe. Will they expect a second? Not a chance. Not a chance.
Well, they get the knife. They get the knife.
Ah, okay.
So there is at least a trade. Dicey, though, still holds his life backside of the site, and you feel like he could be good for anything, and how about a second? Turns this to a 3v3. Spike initially going to be down, but it will be repositioned. As FaZe already cracked through the barrier orb and have retaken Tree. This is a key lockdown spot, knowing that you're going to have maybe one player deep, but you've got full clearance of mid. You can just focus on what's on the site here if you're FaZe.
Yeah, they've done well to clear out a lot of real estate fast to give them a lot of time to still work this retake out right now. Prowler going to come in. Doesn't get too much of a read, but it gives them a little bit of space to come out door. Fragment to let them focus on sights, but Ethan is coming up big.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, the response, though, poised.
Not playing it for
This
him.
will be a 1v2. Ethan coming quickly. Oh, poised hops off, and you thought for maybe a second that was going to be the right. It was the right call, but
health.
yeah.
I mean, Ethan had the swing. He had no choice. It wasn't planted for him. And I think that obviously Poise kind of had the idea that that was going to have to be the case and came off the fight, but just 15 HP shy. Again, this would have been a great play, but the knife breaks it apart.
Enemy remaining.
Gets the intel. And then just, I mean, so close on that one. But Ethan with the big hat trick.
NRG has been really good in their pistols today, honestly.
Yeah. 5 for 6.
Yeah. Oh, and how about that first blood? Marshall in hand takes down Dice. That'll open up some space in the middle of the map. I say that with hesitation because Flya is still in position to re-grab the Marshall and lock down the middle of the map. But FaZe are opting to kind of play pretty far forward point of contact. And as the Prowler misses out, Superman could actually pull off a shorty play here.
Certainly possible. They're kind of playing back wall, though, so they might be just out of range. But, oh, as soon as I say that, he comes forward. That's spike detected
Oh
as
my.
well.
He gets the
and
reload.
he gets away for more damage.
Player standing.
But it's not going to work out for too much beyond just the initial chunk of damage. FaZe able to clean up the play through tree and the defensive retake, a really defensive contest. So now it's just down to Flya. It's musket warfare for him with the Marshall 1v4. Some up close. Gonna help out EU for some team shots, and NRG as expected cleanly take the follow-up round to the first.
And it can wipe the sweat off the brow because it certainly got a little tense when that shorty popped off for a frag and a spike detection. Especially when he gets away for a reload, you're like, oh man, this could get dangerous. But they were very quick to respond. And what a comeback this would be for NRG. I mean, again, this has been a series full of comebacks or fake comebacks or whatever you want to call it. It's been a wild ride of one-sided first halves that still got close in the end. But this would be the biggest of all, considering how dominant FaZe were in that first half. But now it's equal footing as far as firepower goes. Good haunt comes out. Here comes a quick attack from NRG. Much faster than you'd expect.
Gravity well, so good though. Slow orb to stop only does so much though. And now Flya with so much information at his own hands, able to turn that into a solid initial hold, but the fight back is good. The resurrection had been earned thanks to Sam picking up the orb just a moment ago. And that all of a sudden turns things into an even 3v3. Dicey, the only benefactor of many kills, tries for some spam shots, and yeah, they sure were. But now it's down to how do you get in for the retake. Barrier orb will block off one. EU will cross, but it's been seen. And now the dissection of the site. How do you work this? There's no more utility defensively really to work your way back in. It's just going to have to be by way of weaponry. And now they go. Baby for the opener, traded back. EU still playing backside arches. No need to peek. Not going to.
One enemy remaining.
Dicey with the help. Oh boy, pistol in hand. Oh my goodness.
FaZe and retakes, name a more iconic duo in North American Valorant for Stage 2 because they've been leading in that category. A little bit of a misstep, maybe some of their earlier playoff matches, but it's back in full force this series against NRG. You're so far behind, you kind of have to throw some haymakers early to make FaZe rattled. Like, you can't just, you know, think that you're going to play slow to start and then, you know, bring in the faster paced plays later. You might not get there.
Yeah. It really, the long and short of it is, whatever the call is right here, it has to work right now. You have to put FaZe into a dire position where they feel like they need to start to reconsider stuff.
All that haunt.
So all the information off the haunt. Boy's able to help himself out by creating a little bit of extra space, but NRG still forced their way in. They eat them for a double. That'll get the spike on for a plant.
Yeah, they will get this, that's for sure. There's also still this late lurk up middle through Tex. You will indeed get Dicey in the back. They had no clue, and that should be a comfortable round now for NRG. If you're Baby Bay and Superman, you might just, I mean, considering how far off Superman is, you're just saving weapons at this point.
Yep.
Here.
Op will get saved at least, so I mean, that's a big tool to have. But that's a big round win for NRG, and they do so confidently, just losing one member along the way. I thought they might be in some trouble when the haunt came out and they all got red, but Poise tried to play kind of a risky position behind the smoke on the stairs, got caught, and that just gave a free opening for NRG.
And again, it's for NRG when it comes to putting together something that's going to require a very premeditated response from FaZe. I love the fact that we're just throwing all of our utility and forcing FaZe to have to deal with it in bulk. So as good as the haunt is, it's still, you have to imagine that the play call from NRG is, it doesn't matter if we get red, we're forcing this, and we're going to throw everything we have at this front door entrance.
Obviously great to be able to get the ult built here for Ethan. Great entry as well. And yeah, Poise, I just think tucking into market might have been the play there. They don't want to leave the site stranded, but this seemed like it was just like a free second frag for NRG where he was just so blind and was in no man's land. No sanctuary to hide behind. But FaZe do have rounds to burn, so it won't really harm them too much.
And how about this, Dust?
Yep, go ahead.
Op, tour de force, double snipe setup for FaZe here. Do you expect that this op is coming out of your NRG, plus the hero rifle? This is still a very...
one got saved, so
yeah,
I would think you should have an idea, yes. And it probably does change up the pacing a little bit, and it also forces them to spin utility a little bit earlier to make sure they can, you know, take that angle initially. Let's be real. We know Baby Bay ain't no stranger to a sniper.
That's facts.
It's one of the best jet operators we had in A for quite a long time.
Well, NRG are taking their time with this. Kind of setting up a different tone and pace, kind of what we were alluding to. Probably will connect onto Ethan. Follow-up of the knife to come out. That will push NRG back. They don't really give away too much information, though, outside of just Ethan. Yeah,
if you're FaZe, a Prowler reading one player doesn't tell you too much at this stage of the round. I mean, you kind of imagine that they're going to be playing a bit spread. Now you're starting to feel some utility over towards B lobby. Smoke comes up as an immediate response. Flya playing for market. Here's the spam. A lot of utility coming in, so Flya will get the read that this is indeed a push, and that's a great set of utility to give Flya a free frag, and he's pushing for more. Don't know that he needed to do that, but he's trying to support Dicey.
Dicey! 3 on the site! Not gonna get the fourth as EU gets a double and a triple! How about the full quadra? Are you kidding me? This series just has no limit. There is no encore to this fireworks show.
How does the momentum of that round shift so rapidly? It starts off with Flya getting the initial frag, getting the read, Dicey, perfection on watching that boost that Sam's so well known for when he plays the stage, gets 3, but then EU just retorts immediately with a quad kill of his own to win the round for NRG. I mean, you just can't ever plan for that. That's wild he gets that. You think that's series point done and dusted when that 100% third frag comes on the board for Dicey. Holy cow.
Telling you, man. 10-2 half, I don't care.
Yeah, dude.
These second halves have been unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, the fireworks are flying, that's for sure. EU lining up here, a haunt, try to get some information over here towards B side, it seems like. Over in the market area.
Flya's
trying to get a read on the sniper, you think? Yeah.
Well, Aldrin's going to be forced out. Flya reading there's at least one player there. I don't think he sees much more than this is the first, though. Barrier Orb comes out. Nightfall through the middle. That's going to force Dicey out of sight. Hunter's Fury defensively now to try to retort. And this will actually deal a pretty considerable amount of stall through mid, not only through market, but that actually stops the play through the point of ingress on main as well. Baby Bay pushed off the angle, though, can do nothing besides throw knives at the problem. And they will lose poised as entries gained by NRG.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-on-5 retake here in the end for FaZe, and Hayes still has this mid lurk. Now, it seems like Fly is aware it's possible. He's trying to be cautious about it, does slide out, but FaZe catches the frag nonetheless, and now it's a 5-on-3 for NRG.
Well, Baby Bay's going quick, though. He's trying to take away this angle, but it's not going to work out. He wanted to try to catch a trade.
Oh, boy.
Not going to happen.
We got another game on our hands?
We absolutely do. I'm telling you, dude.
Oh, my goodness.
It could have been a 12-0 first start.
Out here.
None. What a battle. And so now going back to what we talked about a couple of rounds ago, NRG has the ability to try to chase down these weapons. Do you come off this round as FaZe and immediately have to call a timeout here? Just due to the fact that you've all of a sudden not had a response to these initiations from NRG?
I mean, their NRG are hitting with a pace that they usually don't use until later stages of the half, but they've been forced to be a bit more creative because they know they don't have that cushion to work with to settle into the hat. They have to come out swinging right out the gates. And so I wonder if a bit of it is just FaZe not ready for that pace, not expecting them to be this explosive. You know, I also just think that maybe they were, you know, looking to play certain types of retakes that just aren't coming together right now because they're losing too many resources before they can even really set up the retakes. Some of these mid lurks from NRG late have been big on kind of blocking that off as a route to set up a retake through market. And so, yeah, if you're FaZe, I'm not sure what the true adjustment really is. Maybe just try to put a little bit more pressure early on the periphery of the map, which FaZe is usually very strong at. But honestly, NRG's counter utility at A lobby has made that very hard to do.
Agreed.
Maybe aggression B lobby could be a play, like get a forward angle there. I don't know.
The other thing to kind of keep in mind, this is the second round in a row where FaZe have gone into this broken buy situation. Like they need to get their finances in order.
Yeah. They did save a little bit last round. They were trying to buy around.
Now this round looking pretty comfortable so far for NRG, save Flya's initial entry. Let's get an operator to play with. Trails will decipher that there are two players nearby. Superman looking to take away space, but you have to worry about the player inside of Hell. And oh boy, Supamore? No. Nothing besides the first. And Baby Bay cannot do anything against Ethan. Flya is already out saying, all right, let's get these finances straight. Operator's going to get saved. Let's get a full buy going here in round 20.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen NRG spend a lot of time plugging up A lobby with utility early to deny any access to wine or like an aggressive peek off a one-way or anything along those lines that you would normally see perhaps at A lobby defensively. They've also done really well at like these late mid plays and not really giving that space either. I do wonder...
Astonished.
So, no, it's going to be the Odin spam, I think, to get Dicey Sniper in position.
Yeah.
I think that's the combo they're looking for. They're trying to give him space to get forward with this. Or at least feel comfortable holding the angle for longer.
Standing ahead.
Well,
It's worked.
Yep.
But how far can he get?
That's the question, because Tex is watching this. He knows. Both players.
Oh, they both read
shots.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both.
All right.
Ooh, it's a
We
razor's
see
edge
you.
here, boys. Like, who wants to step first? Superman's keeping checks on A lobby as well. This is the first time FaZe has been able to get this much space. And now look at that. Tex is forced off.
Trying to bait the gravity well. Fragment comes out first and foremost. Super with the check costs him a significant portion of his life. Now the ability to peek over towards main is pretty much out the window. And you've got threats starting to be established over towards tree. Yeah, this double duelist play that you kind of have over towards B is still stuck. This is a FaZe at a 3v5. Can they possibly hold the A zone to get to map point? Opening trade comes through. Poised up top, not going to find anything as Tex gets the double. Superman from inside could only do so much. And now it's on. So how do you get this retake going with an Odin and an operator?
Oh, that shock dart and Odin spam almost comboed up perfectly on the Sam, but he does get away. And now he's under, but immediately spammed in the dome from Flya. So now a 2-on-2 retake attempt for FaZe. How often these retakes have gone their way. How often they've relied on this as a strength. Can it happen yet again? It
Tex is
seems
going to
so.
fall. That's Tex is going to fall. It's down to EU. He's on the backside of the site. He can get spammed out or be hard scoped. A difficult decision to be made for EU. Has one haunt left. Will bend that around the corner, but the reel comes out. Throwing shoulders. Gets the first. Steps off the second.
Get half.
3 shots remaining. Doesn't get it to half. Tries to get the shoulder. Flyer running out of time, but he still holds for the kill. And he's got it.
Oh my goodness, what a way to end it there. Flya has to do it himself. Dicey goes down, and he didn't get it halved on the first attempt because of how quickly Dicey got pushed off. But he holds his nerve, gets it to half on the second attempt, and then bang.
Yeah. Just stone cold from Flya. And almost a chance for NRG to keep themselves within it. And now it's do or die. 4 rounds in a row is what's required for NRG to send this to an overtime. Early utility from FaZe, going to control A, at least as far as the anticipations would be concerned. NRG are going to have to play retake over towards A main here if they want to keep threatening this.
This time they're able to get through at Prowler, able to get Orb. They clear out one, so they get A lobby pretty early here on the NRG side of things. Something they didn't get the previous round. They're looking to press that issue quickly with this utility over towards Tree, and they are going to get by, but boys hold the angle.
Baby Bay finds nothing off the initial spam. Poised with this delayed check. Goes 1 for 1. Baby Bay following up, only gets the pinstripe kill feed to go back and forth. Super for the double. Turns numbers in favor of FaZe, but there is a res, and Sam's able to use that as a way to shut the door, but it doesn't matter! The Odin just a little too strong! Door broken down. Sam to keep NRG alive. Where has Dicey gone? You obviously know where Fly is. He's making that very clear. Oh, and he takes the aggressive check. He's got heaven. This could work out great for Sam. Expects there to be a double peek down low. The first one cleaned up nicely. Dicey not playing for the initial peek. Sam looks to challenge by going up top, but it does not matter. Dicey with the quick scope, and it's FaZe who advanced to the lower finals. Still a chance at Masters.
Oh my goodness, what a smack in the face it must have been for that res to get immediately wiped away. And then Dicey, that must have been quite the shot from his perspective to read the